What's going on, everybody? Doc here, Average Gamer Guys, back again for a special Saturday episode. Last day on Earth. Looking forward to this one. I have talked about and done a few raids on the channel up to this point, but I am going to take today and we are going to go into Raid Heaven, I hope. So we've got our first one queued up. We did this one naturally, which is to say that we went and we just completed all the objectives. I am going to try to get at least 3 raids in today. If we can go knock out a few of the tasks like very quickly, I will go do that. But otherwise, we're probably going to just use our coins just to try to churn through that. I want to get a couple raids up. I also am going to break these raids down into individual raids for a future playlist that I'm going to put together. Research for these is really important. You don't have to be concerned because this is essentially just like a snapshot of a base. You're not actually taking these supplies from the player. It's just they use the player profile and base at the time, and then whatever was in there to populate the raid, so then you can go and find those items. I don't know, they talked about in a previous like devcast or Q&A that they might be updating these. I certainly hope they do. It'd be interesting to find some newer and some more updated things inside of them, weapons, materials, and stuff like that. But as the bases stand now, raids are usually, can be, if you get lucky with a base, can be a fantastic way to grab really good supplies, to grab a whole bunch of, like just things that you're looking for. In addition, if you find a really good base, you can get some weapons and armor and a whole bunch of heals and all those kinds of things. So today we're jumping in. We're going to hit player 7002 first, and let's jump into it. Okay, so for the purpose of these, I'm going to talk about each individual raid. This base is going to require 1 C4 and a whole bunch of hatchets. I don't believe that you need iron hatchets for this. Regular hatchets will do. You're going to face a lot of level 1 walls for this, and then just a whole bunch of basically just chests, just very basic chests that you're going to be able to go in. You do need 1 C4. You can utilize this base if you don't have C4 available to you. There's a couple of chests that are not protected that actually have some decent stuff, in addition to a lot of the tables and refineries and things like that are open, so you can get in here and still get some decent loot. But it is just important to note that if you want the best loot out of this, we're going to go C4 explosive. So this is how we're going. If we need to pick up additional hatchets, we will do that from our inventory. So just keep this in mind. This is a baseline from what I saw. Should be successful, but we're going to be taking down a whole lot of level 1 walls inside of this. So let's get over to player 7002. We will be utilizing essentially the reset trick. This base does also have spikes down, so we can utilize those to get through those pesky zombies a little bit easier. Excuse me, a little bit easier as well. And if you're just tuning in to this, either the episode or the individual raid, we're going to be putting more of these together, so be sure to check this out. So again, you can see here that this is open. A lot of this can be knocked down. We're going to take down a few things just up front here. I do have fish sticks going as well, so do just keep that in mind. We're going to create a little bit less noise for a handful of time here. Now this crate right here by itself should have a whole bunch of wood in it. Does have a little bit of stuff as well, so I'm going to do that. Now essentially we're going to utilize our C4. There's a couple different ways to go about doing this. There is no chopper. You can do the chopper trick here as well if you want to do that. I need basic wood, so don't mind me while I just grab all of this really quickly. We got a couple extra meds for ourselves as well, but we could utilize our C4 up at the top here. A couple of these benches do have some things in it. I'm not going to worry too much about that. And I am going to pop the C4 on this wall right here. So we'll get, you can do any of these exterior walls here, and you're going to see once we pop this open that we're going to get our zombies. Try to utilize our spikes here a little bit. Okay, zombies down. I liked hitting this one because we get some good coupons here. We get a little bit of fuel as well. If you're looking for cameras, you can use that. And then essentially from this point, you can chop open whichever way you feel best appropriate but it's all essentially going to lead around in kind of like a circle. We're going to just kind of open this up. We should get good access to basically everything over here. More zombies. Be done when this. We'll be back when this finishes. Okay, so we're back here. A lot of crates in here. There's some really good opportunities to grab quite a few different things. Depending on what you're looking for. I personally am looking for some of this. So these are going to be extra helpful. I'm going to grab this as well for ourselves. And again, you're kind of just patchwork through here with a whole bunch of boxes. Essentially 9 crates inside here. Oh, I want to do this one, please. Nope. And we got the last of them. Finish up the zombies. We'll be back. Okay, as we jump back in here, we're going to just essentially weaken up each of these. And our tool did break, so that is important to note. So give you a quick look at all of these. Again, it really kind of depends what you're looking for here. But not a bad base overall. Some of these crates here should have some weapons in them. So we will take a look once we grab some additional hatchets, and then we'll open this space up. But I am going to do the trick at this point now, since again we're out of hatchets. So do bring a few more, as just some advice there. We'll get, doesn't really matter. We can get topped up there. And then we want to go in, we want to grab the rest, basically as much wood as we can. What do I not care as much about? We're going to drop our fuel off into our chopper here. That's probably better. And we'll just set ourselves up to get a full chopper here. And then we'll do the death trick, and we'll be back. Okay, so we're jumped back in. We've got our supplies. We've got our motorcycle refilled here. And then we are just going to basically soften up few of these chests. Brought in 5 additional hatchets. I don't know if that's going to be necessary here. We have a whole bunch of nice pine. I forgot that one was so close. I'm gonna take this. That's pretty good. This one will probably... Okay, so I do believe actually if you want to do the motorcycle trick and block off the entrance, if you take this middle line down and crack a couple of these open, there is 2 additional crates inside of here. The rest of this whole row going down is basically open. So do keep that in mind. Don't worry about taking care of that portion, but I think the next two rows do have a couple of crates. This middle row is the best. I want to say that this one right here does have some weapons in it, maybe a shotgun, so that could be important for you if you're trying to grab that. You can come from this direction and basically just chop the walls down. They're all level 1 walls to be able to do that. So we're going to crack these last two here. And, oh, there's the weapons, actually. So here's the shotgun. I stand corrected. We're going to take the VSS. We're going to take this. And here comes the big boy. Hopefully we can get out of this. And I think we're going to just take this and get out. I think that's going to be our plan here. So definitely hit that one crate. I think the side crates may have had some additional things in there. Probably could plan that just a little bit better depending on what you were able to see and what you got. But we did get a shotgun. We got a whole bunch of pine here, which is pretty good. A whole bunch of wood. We've got a chopper full of items as well. So we'll show that when we get back. Okay, and this was our loot haul from the player 7002. Again, there's a couple of additional things that we could grab, but I am happy that we were able to crack open the weapon crate there. We got a shotgun. Again, a lot of basic materials, so not the best, but only one C4 and a bunch of just regular hatchets, which is really nice. So the investment in order to get all of this stuff relatively low, which is pretty good. So I wouldn't rate this as the top end base by any means, but a pretty solid one in order to grab materials that we need. So that'll wrap this up, and we're going to jump into another base raid that if you're watching this on the actual episode that we put up, thank you so much. We're going to jump into another one. If you're watching it just for player 7002, be sure to check out our raid playlist for any additional raids that you might come across that you could use a little bit of help with. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that overall. Gosh, my nose. We got a red ticket as well, so we got some green tickets. Tickets I always think are really, really, really good things to grab, especially if you're trying to, you know, kind of level up your resources. Really, really helpful to be able to do that. So whenever you can, make sure to grab those things because that can be just a additional source, if you will, of really good weapons and materials for yourselves. Okay, and special little trick for those that don't know, again, that at any point in any raid, after any raid, you can empty all of the stuff. You do not have to supply the raiders back with whatever you find. You can just pull something from your base. So we are going to pull this electronic circuit. They're going to be very pleased with this. I'm going to be very pleased with this. We're going to be happy we keep our reputation up, and hopefully again they bring us some good bases. So we will call them again here. We'll put the rest of our wood away in just a second. We're going to call them again. Let's respond. Let's get some more base action, and we'll get the next one queued up here. Like I said, I'm going to try to do 3 of these. Try to go quick. Might be a little bit of a longer episode, so apologies for that up front. Drop this stuff away. All right, let's see what they're hoping for this go around. Make 20 medkits. We can do that. Clear the 3rd floor of Bunker Alpha. We could actually do that. We'll make a full set attack armor. Puppies we're not going to do. And we've already killed the Ravager. So we're going to skip this. We're going to skip this. We're going to skip this. And then we will make the attack armor. And we will make the aid kits. Now, again, I don't recommend doing this. However, what I am going to try to do is do another raid, and hopefully in between this raid and the 24-hour time limit, we get attacked so that we can keep this up at level 4. If you can run a streak of level 4, essentially what can happen is you can get raided and then revenge raid on a very consistent cycle, and then just essentially get raided every day, which is really good if you want to see a lot of bases and get a lot of those going. So that's what we're going to hope to do here in this go around. So I'm going to make some first aid kits. And I'm going to make some armor. I'm going to grab some extra health here. Drop these away. Oops. And we'll see ya when we're ready for the next base. All right, welcome to player 6073 base raid. I'm going to be up front with you on this one after a little bit of research. This is not a very good base unless things have changed. We will quickly find out here, but this is what we're bringing. We're bringing some basic hatchets. We got about 6 of them or so, and we've got a C4. It is a C4 required base. That is important to note. As you will see here very quickly, I don't intend that we probably will basically just get a full chopper and full amount of loot, and I don't expect this one to be very good going in here. I do not believe we'll have to do like the death trick, the death/chopper trick, so do keep that in mind. We will see. Hopefully we are wrong. I believe there's a little bit of water and some of the materials and supplies and things in here, so nothing great. Yeah, and it's basically just going to be a square C4 base. If we come up to the top here, right on this wall, this is going to save us from cracking a crate open. And I think there's like only 2 or 3 crates in here regardless. So we're just going to take everything. See when we get these zombies knocked out of the way. All right, with the zombies done, we probably didn't even need this many hatchets. We're going to crack this open. We got some wood out of that. Oh, this base is not great. Okay. And I mean, so we did get an electronic circuit. We got an engine part. We did get a steel plate. We got some springs, some copper, and some aluminum plates. That's not terrible. Definitely not worthy of a C4, in my opinion. But we're just going to knock some of these out just to make sure that there's nothing else in here. We get some of that. That's pretty good. We'll take care of the rest of these zombombs. We'll be back to finish this one up. Now that that's done, we're just going to break everything down that we can just to double check. A little bit of jerky there. That's okay. See if there's any water. We get 20 empty water bottles, and I don't think it's gonna be worth. See, I don't believe there's anything else. We could pick up some just like random supplies, but we're not gonna do that. And unfortunately, I think that is the base. We could have went back and maybe grabbed some water from the truck if we really wanted to. I don't particularly care to do that. So this is gonna wrap this raid up for us here. If you were just checking out this raid guide, thanks for popping in here. Again, check out our playlist. We also do a whole bunch of other Last Day on Earth content, so be sure to check our playlist for that. But we do have a raid playlist if you're looking for any more research to be able to do if you're out there raiding. But really quickly, this is where we landed with our loot. You could easily have brought in probably 3, maybe 4 hatchets just to be safe, 1 C4, and you're going to get yourself again, some charcoal, some decent materials in terms of some different metals. Steel plate's pretty good. Obviously, electronic circuit, that'll let you buy the raid for free. Probably not worth the C4, in my opinion. But again, everybody is looking for some different things, so this may be really helpful for you. Some decent items down here in terms of kind of those, supply type barter-esque items to get some things done. 1 engine part, not too terrible there, but pretty easy base. Fortunately, not a very good base. That will wrap this one up. Okay, so we're back. We're going to finish this raid up. I'm actually just wondering if I can drop a whole bunch of stuff. Nah, it's not worth it. We just do this. Seems true. Okay, we got our second raid in. Grab this. Let's just drop these off. We do put an electronic circuit out to essentially entice the folks to come grab our things. So that is kind of a ploy there. We have an all steel base, so we don't have to worry about any of the internals getting hit from this, which is nice. So let's go ahead and we'll call the raiders one more time. And hopefully we get a couple of good Honestly, what we got the last time was really good from a task perspective. If we can get a couple more, like, hey, create this thing, that's usually really nice. You can see we've got 2 days here on this, which is really good. Here's our raid of friends. 25 chests. Find at least 1 C4. 3 green boxes. Raise 3 puppies. Okay, so we're going to skip this. We're going to skip this. And actually, these 3 I can do. So I'm going to go get the C4 from Bunker Alpha from the red crate. So I'm going to go grab that. I'm going to go drop in 3 green cards at the police station. And then I have 3 dogs ready to go. So this is pretty nice. We still used a lot of coins, but this is going to be a good way for us to minimize the impact of that. So we'll go do all of that stuff here very, very quickly. And we will be back with 1 more base raid. All right, and we are into a 3rd raid, if you're checking this out on our raid episode. If not, welcome to the essentially all dots base. This was an interesting one. Hopefully you had some success maybe finding it if you're in our raid playlist. If you are doing some raids and would like some help, we have done some research and are showing some raids off as well, so be sure to check that out. But essentially, here's what we got. This is a C4 required base, basically 1 section of stone walls. There is 1 basic wall, level 1 wall, that we will have to break down for 1 additional chest. And I haven't really spent a ton of time taking a look at the loot, but we'll jump in and take a look at this. But I think 6 hatchets should do, maybe a 7th if you want to be careful or just take the chance. There is spikes at this base, so we are going to be able to do the reset trick, which will just net us some additional loot. But we'll jump in here, and I think this one is okay. I don't think this is going to be a god tier base by any means. If you got to this one, luckily for you, we've got our doggy here as well. That's going to help us out. But let's go check really quick. I don't believe there was a chopper. No, we just got ours. Unfortunately, we've got some grass. So here's what we are going to do. You can basically break into this first section here. This is going to have the single crate in it. Pop. We can do that, and then we are just going to set, actually, we set our C4. We'll set our C4 right behind this, just save ourselves a little bit of a explosion time. This is basically the base. You can see the spikes up here at the top, and we'll be back once we take care of these zombies. Okay, as we heal up here, a whole lot of food, which is pretty good. That's not terrible. And essentially 6 additional crates, so I'm just gonna 3 chop all these. Then we should have no problem cracking everything open here. All right, boom. Stop crate. Some decent meds, some good coupons, a little bit of fuel. We could make a whole bunch of bandages if we wanted to do that. There's our electronic circuit, so that's not terrible. Here comes some more zombies. We'll be back once we take care of these. Okay, you can obviously pretty successfully take care of your health needs with all of the food that we found. And here's kind of how we're sitting. So this should be the base wrapped up. Small box, don't worry about cracking that open. And here's where we're at. So first one had a whole bunch of food in it. I think that's probably worthwhile. This one was empty. This has a bunch of, you know, iron ore and some stone in it, which isn't terrible. We're definitely gonna take, I personally need some pine and some wood. We're not gonna need that. Let's see here, this one, yep. And then we've got the electronic circuit here. So we'll make sure that we want to grab that. A couple of good metals, nothing super crazy there. A whole bunch, again, of pieces of cloth, which we could definitely look to make a whole bunch of meds with if we want to do that. And that's basically the base here. I think what we might try to do Let's go fill up the chopper, and then I will crack open some of the... We'll look at cracking open some of the other containers there. And throw this in here. And I want to keep this and this. Good meds. We'll keep the coupons. Take some wood. Probably worthwhile to do that. Although this coupon's not super worth. Do something like that. Let's consolidate down here. I don't care too much about the berries. Throw this in here as well. Again, the rest of this section doesn't have anything in it, so that's just important to note. I don't really want this. I'm gonna just stay healthy with these, even though we are going to end up dying. So let's grab what else. This is good, certainly. And these are good. I want this back. We'll take this. Sure, we'll take all of this. Wrench is pretty good. I don't need a ton of that. I will look to go ahead and do that trick there. And we can grab these. And I guess the water. Go ahead and soften this up. Some extra iron's not terrible. And we'll be back once we finish off this next section of zombies. Okay, so nothing in there. Fortunately, nothing in there. The furnace probably was worthwhile to break open. And we're going to go ahead, just double check, make sure our chopper's full. And then we'll be doing the death trick. And we want to make sure to grab that. And this is pretty good. Probably do something like this. Yeah. I am pretty happy with this overall. All right, we'll be back. Okay, so we're back in here. Got our pupper. We are well set from this regard. We're gonna get the chopper loaded up. Then I'm gonna step out and see about making a whole bunch of meds here. Could be kind of interesting. I don't know that there's much else that we'd want to take. I mean, I guess I can just top up on these. Those aren't great. Maybe we take the ball bearings instead. Decent loot overall. I'm not sure if the rest of those things have anything in them. Definitely want to grab the electronic circuit out of this, though. So let's see here. What do I care about the most? This. Probably this. Grab these, this. Essentially what we'll want to do is run once we get back in. I'm gonna want to run. So we can create 5, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So we'll have 1 stack. That leaves open 5, 6, 7 slots. I want to have 7 slots worth of things, so I need 2 more. Let's see what else we can grab in here. This worth. Just make sure we're fully topped up on the berries. I don't know if it's worth taking 4 of those. Don't need any stone. And we got the phone. I honestly don't know. We'll just take this so we can turn that into more cloth. I think we can take one more thing here, if I'm not mistaken. Just to fully maximize this raid. So we just need one slot for the Zibendolges. And hopefully we can get in here quick. Hit that. All right. We'll pop out of here. Okay, we've made our bandages. Let's jump back in. He's on the other side. He's not. Shoot. Ah! Okay. That might not have been worth it. Or maybe having some armor there would have been a little bit better. But we did grab some things. We grabbed some extra food, which was good. So we were able to get that out. And yeah, we'll head back. Check out the rest of the loot. Okay, and this finishes up our totality of loot. Not bad. 1 C4, pretty good materials overall. A lot of basic stuff, nothing crazy, no weapons, unfortunately, but a couple of coupons, a couple of decent materials that we can pick up here. So again, if you're checking this out as part of our just raid playlist, we do have a playlist going that we're building up. So if you need any additional research, be sure to check back here. Hopefully this was helpful for you. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. As for those folks on the video, this is going to wrap us up. So that's a couple of raids. We definitely got what we needed to done. Let me just go ahead and quickly put a few things away here. Shoot, where does this go? Okay, so that goes there. I want to put a couple of things away and then kind of show you how we ended up finishing up and why we took this time to do this. One, we got some decent materials overall. We certainly spent some materials to get this. So this is kind of a little bit of a give and take when it comes to raids. You can have some absolutely fantastic raids where you can get a ton of really, really good weapons and, or, you know, just like a whole freaking crate full of meds, which is just wildly important. But what I do want to just kind of showcase here is that we basically were able to set up, we got 300 total pine planks at this point. We've got a whole bunch of pine logs. We got some additional metal as well that we're going to be able to refine down. So for me personally, this was super helpful for just basic materials, which is really nice. That is, that's good. That's what I need personally to just kind of continue on with our grind a little bit here. And again, that's helpful for me with what we need to do here. So I'm going to just queue up a couple of other things here. Sorry, I'm taking some of your precious time while I sort my inventory, but I want to get all this stuff put away and keep these things a-rolling. We absolutely need a ton of a lot of these materials to continue on with our progression here. So, and then nails, can I put the nails away? No, of course I can't. Of course I can't. But you can see up here, 2 days, 23 hours. That's how long we have at threat level 3 for our raids, which is also very, very good for us. So again, we're going to drop this off. This is important because this almost guarantees that within a 24-hour period, we're going to get raided, which allows us to do a revenge raid. If we can get hit twice in that period, which is not uncommon, that will be even better for us from the perspective that we can then get it to level 4. And while we're doing that, we're going to be able to queue these raiders in one more time. You can essentially continue to raid as often as you like, as long as you clear the base that you have, and obviously pay your fee, I guess I'll call it, for being able to do that. So we're going to queue them back in, and you know, we're going to try to make the best of continuing on with getting our raids in. Something I want to do more consistently on the channel. Again, I also do want to do the playlist and get just research is important. So that's important for you to make the best out of the raids, hopefully get the good materials. A lot of times you can't get in there and you can just kind of, I don't want to say like fumble around, but you can fumble around a little bit if you don't know where some of this stuff is. So if you do decide to start raiding, Don't feel like you should go into it blind. Make sure you go and do some research, and hopefully we can have a network of videos up for you to be able to do that. So the good part here is we can make hatchets. We can still find a C4. Toxic Abominations we can try to take out. We are going to head to the bunker, so we can take that out. And then I need to do 20 waves at the police station. All of these things are actually very, very doable for us. With the exception of this one ends up being a little bit tougher, but we can hit some red zones. There's actually a couple of areas I can think about that would get this done for us. So we should be able to actually queue up another raid here pretty easily. Definitely within the couple of days if we focus on knocking out some of those tasks. So we grinded some good materials. Pretty happy with that. Got ourselves in a good position here to continue to just do our thing. Keep getting stuff, keep knocking some stuff out. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. A little bit different. Again, trying to mix these up, provide hopefully some good value, some good tips. See how I would go about taking some of these things down, and you know, again, provide some raids and have some fun, and some info as well. I'm going to flash some socials. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for all the support on the channel. I know Last Day on Earth videos are bringing a ton of it, so thank you so very much for helping me out in that regard. And if you're watching these and not subscribed, really do consider it. Helps us to grow the channel, helps to get our videos out there to other folks. Share these if you think they're helpful as well, or you got other friends and folks that are playing Last Day on Earth. And I hope you have a great and fantastic day, and we will catch you in the next episode. I've been Doc. See ya.